guys, Moonstone here. I was originally going to do a video on repurposing old wax to make your own candles, but I recently got a request to make a video on pendulums. So I'm just going to do the basic how-tos. It's not going to be very extensive at all. If you have any particular questions, definitely feel free to drop them in the comments and I'll respond as soon as I can. But I have here my 4 pendulums. One of them is actually a purchased pendulum, made like a pendulum, to be used as a pendulum. And the other ones here that I have are just necklaces. This one's actually on a necklace chain still, it's just some rose quartz. This one and the amethyst here is the only real stones. But I also have this necklace here. These are just on yarn because I didn't have a chain for it. For the purpose of the video, I'm going to use this store-bought one, but you can make your own. You can take a rock and string. It really doesn't matter as long as you have a weight to swing on some sort of chain or string. So pendulums are great for quick questions, yes, no, maybe, try again type of questions, but they're not really so great for more advanced questions. For those, you're better off with tarot or runes or other forms of divination. That being said, generally pendulums are used for yes, no, maybe, or I can't answer your question type of questions. So the first thing you want to do is basically tell your pendulum what's what. So for me personally, I use clockwise for yes, counterclockwise for no, up and down for maybe, and then left and right for pending a question. And you can do it any way you want. You can switch it up as long as you and your pendulum basically have an understanding of how you want it to work. That being said, you can make boards. I personally just use my Ouija board. It's already made for me. It's got all the letters, yes, no, numbers, and goodbye. I can be polite. That being said, you can make your own board or buy pendulum boards specifically if Ouija boards kind of creep you out or it's not what you're comfortable with. So if you do use your Ouija board, your planchette won't be used at all. It's just your pendulum basically in place of the planchette. Your pendulum boards are going to work the exact same way. You can make your own pendulum boards out of paper. If you're more skilled than I am, you can make them out of wood and burn your own pendulum board as much as you want. Some people even like to make them out of cloth and fabric paint. There's so many different ways you can make your board. Cloth and paper are going to travel better than a board, especially if you're hiding the fact that you're doing these. It can be easier to take to school or to the library or somewhere quiet, wherever you're comfortable with. So the way these would work is there's a couple different ways you can do it. For me personally, I just let it swing to whatever letter it wants to tell me. Like that would be F. Can you give me a J? It'll work its way over there, and then I'll just kind of move more towards the J just to clarify that it's the J and not something further over here. Other people, they like to just go letter by letter and just yes or no if that's the letter they wanted. But I mean, you could go forever with all sorts of different boards. Some of them are in a circle. There's all different shapes, sizes, cost, efficiency that you can get for boards, but they're not really necessary because for longer questions or advice that you're looking for in divination, you're generally going to want to use things like runes or tarot. And I'm definitely open to doing videos on those as well. If you guys need a how-to or have any questions on more intermediate or advanced things, I'm definitely open to that. But basically that's all really a pendulum is. It's pretty basic. It's a great way to get into divination on your own without exhausting yourself on trying to learn all the ins and outs of tarot or anything like that. There's really no rules to pendulums. You're not going to get possessed or anything. Actually, for me, my pendulum is just connected to my subconscious via ideomotor and things like that, meaning that it's just my subconscious moving the pendulum for me. But that's my belief and for my pendulum. Some people, will use the pendulum to talk to their deities. I personally prefer tarot for that as it's more in depth. Some people will use this to speak to guardians or angels or, what have you, and that's different. That might not be using ideomotor, but for me personally, that's what I'm using it as. If you're using it to speak with gods or what have you, you might want to consider using spells or blessings or, whatever you want, but I don't personally think it's necessary for me with my subconscious. If you wanted like a spell or something to use or a sigil, I'm sure you can find plenty of them online or in Pendulum books, but I'm not really going to cover that because I just don't think it's necessary for me personally, and I don't want to tell you guys, you know, what spells or anything to use because I just don't use them, and I don't want to lead you astray. So that's kind of on your own research, whatever you're comfortable with. You might find one for your personal religion. I'm unsure. But that's basically all I have here today for pendulums. If you guys have any questions on pendulums or anything else, drop them in the comments. I'll be happy to you know, go over those, and maybe you guys will give me some ideas for some more videos. I have several tarot decks, I have several runes, stone, wood, etc. I'd be happy to show you how to use those. If you're interested in the Ouija board, I can make some videos on that as well, how to use them with others or separately. You know, if there's certain spells you guys are looking for that you want to see how to make or anything like that, let me know. You can find me on Tumblr and on Discord. It's the same username as here on YouTube. And I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great day. Thank you.